You're watching The World now on TVC News. It's past 3 p.m. here in Nigeria. It will be another 9 hours before we bid goodbye to 2022. It's already New Year in Kiritimati Island in the Central Pacific Ocean. Auckland in New Zealand became the first major city to start celebrations welcoming in 2023 with fireworks launched from the city's Sky Tower. Sydney has also entered the new year. The city's fireworks launched from its harbour bridge, opera house and barges in its famous harbours. Here's a report.
It is already New Year on Kiritimati Island, also known as Christmas Island, and a string of 10 other mostly uninhabited islands in the Central Pacific Ocean. Despite lying directly south of Hawaii, Kiritimati Island celebrates the New Year yearly a full day earlier. Kiritimati Island rang in the year 2023 4 hours ago, sparking off a day's worth of celebrations around the world. They were in the new year while Brits were still sipping their morning coffee at 10 a.m. GMT on the 31st of December. New Zealand also said hello to the New Year 2023 at around 10:15 a.m. GMT. As it stands, the UK will be one of the last countries to celebrate the New Year and will do so at the same time as Ireland, Iceland, Ghana and Portugal, and an hour later than most of Europe. However, that won't be the end of the New Year celebrations, as North and South America will be the final part of the world to see 2023. The last place which will welcome the New Year will be Baker Island and Howland Island, two unoccupied U.S. islands in the Pacific. But the last occupied territory to celebrate January 1 will be American Samoa at 11 a.m. GMT Sunday morning. For Nigeria, it will be another 9 hours before we bid goodbye to the year 2022. In the meantime, New York City is preparing to host thousands of revelers for New Year's Eve in Times Square. This is the first time since the coronavirus pandemic that there will be no restrictions for attending the event. In previous years, only a certain number of revelers were allowed a negative COVID test were required.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
On Thursday, the Times Square Alliance held its annual confetti drop test just days before the city's big New Year's Eve celebration. The colorful event is held in preparation for the release of 3,000 pounds of confetti at midnight on New Year's Eve. Additionally, the 3,000 pounds of confetti released on New Year's Eve will include thousands of wishes from individuals who have submitted them on actual confetti at the New Year's Eve wishing wall in Times Square and via the virtual wishing wall on Broadway Plaza.
Well, global affairs analyst Oluosha joins us now for more as the world crosses over into a brand new year. Thank you very much for joining us at this point. Now, I'm aware that the United States Nigeria is actually ahead of the United States by 6 hours. So by the time we are saying Happy New Year, the United States is still a bit far behind. But looking at it, what's the mood so far around you? And of course, in the United States, in New York and Cincinnati and all of that, what's the mood of the people as they await the new year?
Well, thank you again for having me. First of all, let me start off with a disclaimer that the views expressed today are mine and they're not endorsed by the United States government or any of its agencies. Now, of course, it's December 31st, and every December 31st, something you notice on major U.S. networks is they're doing a review of 2022, and they're anticipating the new year. First of all, something that's going to be different is in New York, at Times Square. We're going to have the iconic ball drop, which was suspended for a while, with the regular crowds in attendance, without restriction. So people are normally watching live. There are people who are very eager, young people, a lot of people, diverse people. You know, New York is like the capital of the world. Everybody's normally there and anticipating the iconic ball drop. So that's going to happen for the first time post-pandemic. Of course, Americans, we've had to hunker down for the past 3 years now because of the pandemic, which of course ravaged New York and other parts of the world very badly. So everybody's, looking forward to that excitedly. And as I said, a lot of the networks, they do a review of of 2022 and to sort of use it as a prognostic of what to anticipate in 2023. And it's sort of, I don't know if it's poetic or prognostic that we've lost a number of iconic figures, such as we lost the Queen. The last couple of days, we lost a Pope, and we lost, we lost the Queen of television, broadcast television in America, Barbara Walters. She passed 93 just yesterday. Of course, we lost Pele, that's in Brazil, who was king of soccer. He was an iconic ambassador, representative of the beautiful game like nobody else was. And so for me, the way I see it, I think it is prognostic that it's like the end of an era and we can look forward to something new, something fresher, and we can be very optimistic, regardless of the fact that there in fact is there's a war in Europe, unlike any other that's been in the past 75 years. That's, of course, the Russian-Ukrainian war, which is causing, of course, inflationary prices. There's global recession. But I think in America we're optimistic, as we always are, of the new year, 2023.
So going into 2023 now, what do you think will be the mindset of Americans, especially as it comes to politics? You're just fresh out of the midterm elections that happened in November. What is the mindset of the Americans as it talks about the elections coming up, or the next elections, though, as it comes to politics?
Well, of course, Americans, we're very political, right? It's a leading democracy in the world, and it's a land where it's really government of the people, by the people, for the people, and so everybody's very active. There are newcomers that are going to be sworn in Congress, and so people are looking forward to it. There's a controversial figure who seems to be, an offshoot of Donald Trump himself. Of course, Donald Trump is another figure. We're going to, people are looking to see if he's going to be running in 2024. Of course, in 2023, the presidential candidates, they start rolling out their campaigns and they get on the campaign trail for 2024. I can tell you right off the bat that Donald Trump is in all likelihood not going to run in 2024. He's, because, historically, apart from the fact that we've only had one president, Grover Cleveland, who was our 22nd and 24th president. That's someone he left office and he was reelected. So it doesn't happen in American, the president in American politics, that a president leaves office and then comes back into office. That doesn't happen. So chances are it's not going to happen for Donald Trump, apart from the other charges that he's facing. He's facing a number of charges, as you know, and so he's trying to dodge. I think his concerns are bigger than running for president for the presidency right now. He's in all likelihood also disqualified by the 14th Amendment in Section 3, which says that anybody who's participated in an insurrection, cannot hold office in the United States anymore. Regarding newcomers, there's a strange person on the terrain. He's a fabulous. That's the congressman-elect from New York, George Santos. We don't really know if that's his name. So we're waiting to see if he's going to be sworn in, things like that. So
All right, Oluosha, Global Affairs Analyst, we thank you very much for talking to us, of course, about the expectations for the year 2023.